Hey everyone, my name is Dima and this is my short video review and my experience using the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra for the past 6 months. While this might be one of the best, if not the best smartphone on the market right now, there are a few things that Samsung needs to improve in order to be absolute best. Let's talk about the design and the size of this beautiful smartphone. In my personal opinion, this phone looks and feels super solid. From the square form factor to its titanium side frame, the flat front and back, the sharp feeling in the hand, it gives you that sensation of a very rigid phone. And while I do love the way it looks, I do understand some folks out there preferring the previous model S24 Ultra. That one felt like a tank. S25 Ultra, on the other hand, feels a bit more futuristic with its slim bezels. It gives the impression that you are holding just a massive screen in your hands, and that's quite nice. They slim down the bezels even more, so they can increase the screen size from 6.8 in S24 Ultra to 6.9 in S25 Ultra. You can barely see the difference, but it's there. So I think the design is great, very well put together and solid. At this point, I'm just curious, what else can be done to a smartphone in order to improve or give it a fresh new look? Probably some new bold colors. I think Samsung could also smooth out the edges a bit more to make the S26 Ultra slightly more comfortable and not as razor sharp as this big guy. This is a topic I want to criticize Samsung a little. I don't want to, but I have to say a few things that to a certain extent are driving me crazy. Listen to me, okay? It's 2025. Majority of smartphones are already using a 10-bit OLED panels, which makes me wonder why Samsung is using an 8-bit panel to this day. Are they cutting corners, cutting costs on a $1,200 smartphone that at this price should not have such a big compromise? And especially knowing that Samsung is able to make amazing displays, but somehow we are stuck with an 8-bit panel, and that's not great. And unfortunately, nobody knows when Samsung is going to implement 10-bit panels in their flagships. Okay, don't get me wrong, the display is still very beautiful. It is bright and, simply said, quite wonderful. But I noticed in certain apps some pretty ugly bendings that did not look great. And while I do not want to bring Apple into this review, I have to be transparent and mention that my 2-year-old iPhone 15 Pro Max does not have these problems. Why is that? Why is Samsung does not do a better job when it comes to the displays? I don't know. I really want them to step up their game and install a 10-bit panel. I know what you're thinking. Nobody cares that much about this small aspect. And I agree. Majority of people are not going to even notice, but many others that love these devices are noticing. And it's about time for Samsung to actually do a better job. Cameras, such an important thing in smartphones these days. And while I primarily use my Sony full-frame camera for photography and videos, I still appreciate the amount of effort all the manufacturers are putting into these cameras. And while I do not think these smartphones' cameras are going to rival a dedicated full-frame camera sensor anytime soon, I'm convinced that majority of people are going to be pleased and impressed with the quality the S25 Ultra delivers. It creates beautiful images that are very stunning, sharp and colorful. I'm not going to dive deep into technical details. You can find a bunch of other reviews on the internet focusing solely around the camera. I'll just share some pictures and videos I was able to take with Samsung's flagship. Let's take a look at some examples. I had the opportunity to use a bunch of Samsung flagships in the past. I still remember those dark and sluggish days of TouchWiz. But I have to be honest with you guys, I did like the old Samsung UI as well. I just have a warm spot towards Samsung, especially the fact that I used to have so many of them. And regardless of the problems they had in the past, I still have those fond memories. And while some of them were decently fast for those times, and some pretty slow to the point where you want to throw that smartphone out of the window, this one excels when it comes to power, smoothness and performance. Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy does an amazing job. Every single task seems like a breeze for it. I think Samsung finally found the right recipe and perfect blend between a great and optimized UI and a powerful processor. One UI feels like a breath of fresh air. Samsung implemented beautiful elements in their design, and One UI might be the most feature-packed skin on Android. It has basically everything one can wish for. They polished their software very well in order to compete with the rest of the devices on the market, like iPhone 16 Pro Max, OnePlus 13, Pixel 9 Pro XL, and outside of the United States with the rest of Chinese big guys. And I have nothing but compliment Samsung for their job they were able to accomplish with their One UI 7 and upcoming One UI 8. 5000 mAh. It's been a while since Samsung tried to increase the battery capacity, and while I do understand people complaining and wanting Samsung to introduce a silicon-based battery, I just want to remind some of you of Samsung's past bad experience with batteries. I think Samsung is a bit cautious to not repeat the same story of Galaxy Note 7 again. That would probably damage Samsung's reputation to a new level. So perhaps they're just waiting to see how the new battery technology will last in time. And honestly, I can't really blame them for that. Other than that, 5000 mAh battery in S25 Ultra seems just fine. I never thought about having a bigger battery or to have the phone die on me during the day. I'm actually super happy and satisfied with its battery performance. But maybe Samsung needs to take a step forward, take the risk and upgrade the batteries. Even though Samsung gets a lot of negative feedback from many folks and some complaints are truly legit, I still think that Samsung S25 Ultra might be the best smartphone of 2025, or at least my favorite so far. It packs a lot of good stuff and it competes very well with other smartphones. Yes, it's damn expensive, but the good thing is that Samsung has many discounts and promotions that allow people to buy it at a great price. Thank you for watching this video. I want to ask you a favor to subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a thumbs up. I really love technology and smartphones in particular, and I think with enough help and support from you guys I could do way more smartphone video reviews, which is one of my dreams. Thank you again and see you in the next video.